Tonight's story is somewhat unique and calls for a different kind of introduction.
I don't know if I should tell you this. There may be a group of people. They don't want me here anymore. They could free me and say I overdosed on drugs. I gotta go.
It was a hot summer day in June when Michael was preparing for the most grueling concert tour of his career. On the morning of June 25th, Dr. Conrad Murray had just administered a cocktail of sedatives.
Very healthy, but Michael was not with us way before he arrived to the airport.
No, that's not the case. Michael Jackson did not die from propofol.
I haven't talked about this, Robin, with anyone. And you have to forgive me, I have this thing where I tend to smile. But things kind of get a little painful.
Previously on the Xscape Plan, we discussed the National Enquirer and the role it played in leaking the story about Michael having 6 months to live. Starting with an article printed by well-known slanderous tabloid magazine, the National Enquirer. That was January 2009. Michael would leave us officially on June 25th, 2009. We discussed how this death hoax could have happened 15 years before.
On the 29th of March, 1994, the tabloid magazine called the Weekly World News published an article. It stated Michael was planning to fake his own death,
but was awaited till June 2009, and how his brother Jermaine used his connections to make Michael's plan complete. Hello, Moonwalkers. This is your host, Darryl Wood, and this is the Xscape Plan, Part 3. Something struck me to be odd on June 25th and the way Conrad Murray handled things as a medical professional. But before I get into the specifics, let's look at Dr. Conrad Murray's medical credentials. Before becoming a cardiologist, Conrad Murray studied internal medicine. Internal medicine specialists, also known as general internal medicine specialists or general medicine physicians, who are trained in the management of single to multi-organ diseases or treatments. Some of these organs included the kidneys, the brain, the spleen, the heart, and the lungs. So that brings a question to mind about Conrad Murray. But first, let's watch this video clip.
You saw Dr. Murray frantic, eyes wide, yelling. Did you think that a 12-year-old child was going to be able to assist this doctor with a problem with Michael?
I did what I was told. And
You what?
I did what I was told, and I went to get Prince.
Now I can ask that question. Why did Conrad Murray have Michael's cook call his 12-year-old son Prince instead of instantly calling emergency services? Well, during the summer of 2019, a confidant of the Jackson clan had reached out to me about why Prince was called into the room before emergency services were called. From what this source shared, before Michael actually left the 100 North Carrollwood Drive mansion, Michael had very little time before needing to exit the mansion. Michael wanted to see Prince before leaving, knowing that him being the oldest, that he understood as to why he had to leave. Paris was too young to really understand and was upset that her father was leaving. From what this source has revealed, that she could hear Paris and Blanket crying from the other room. The event started around 12:06 p.m., where Conrad Murray began to scream for the cook Alicia to get Prince. Prince would arrive to the room by 12:08 p.m. He and his father would speak for a few minutes, and Michael would leave the 100 North Carrollwood Drive mansion forever at 12:11 p.m. By 12:15 p.m., the house was in utter chaos with everyone panicking in every direction. Enter Michael's bodyguard, Alberto Alvarez. He would arrive to Michael's bedroom at 12:16 p.m. After minutes of arguing with Dr. Conrad Murray about him not calling emergency services, Alvarez pulls out his cell phone and calls emergency services himself.
Fire paramedic 33, what is your emergency? Yes, sir. I need an ambulance as soon as possible, sir. Okay, sir. What's your address? It's 100 North Carrollwood Drive, Los Angeles, California, 90077. You said Carrollwood? Carrollwood Drive, yes. Okay, sir. What's the phone number you're calling from? Okay, sir. And what's the problem? Exactly what happened? Sir, we have a gentleman here that needs help, and he's not breathing yet. He's not breathing, and we're trying to pump him, but he's not. Okay. Okay. How old is he? He's 50 years old, sir. 50. Okay. He's unconscious. He's not breathing. Yes, he's not breathing, sir. Okay, and he's not conscious either. He's not breathing. He's not conscious, sir. Okay. All right. Do you have him? Is he on the floor? Where's he at right now? He's on the bed, sir. He's on the bed. Okay, let's get him on the floor. Okay. Okay, let's get him down to the floor. I'm gonna help you with CPR right now. Okay. We need him. We need a. Yes, we're already on our way there. We're on our way. I'm gonna do as much as I can to help you over the phone. We're already on our way. Did anybody see him? Yes, we have a personal doctor here with him, sir. Oh, you have a doctor there? Yes, but he's not responding to anything. So no, he's not responding to CPR or anything, sir. Oh, okay. Well, we're on our way there. If your guys are doing CPR and you're instructed by a doctor, he has a higher authority than me, and he's there on scene. Okay. Did anybody witness what happened? No, just the doctor, sir. The doctor's been the only one here. Okay, so did the doctor see what happened? Doctor, did you see what happened, sir? Sir, you just, if you can please. We're on our way. We're on our way. I'm just passing these questions on to my paramedics while they're on the way there, sir. Thank you, sir. He's pumping his chest, but he's not responding to anything, sir. Please. Okay. We're on our way. We're less than a mile away. We'll be there shortly. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay, sir. Call us back if you need any help. Thank you. Yes, sir.
During the 911 call, Alberto Alvarez tells the 911 operator that Dr. Conrad Murray is doing CPR on the bed on Michael Jackson. Odd that he would do that, being that his medical studies have taught him otherwise.
This is something I had spoken about in episode 1 of Unsolved. Michael Jackson is alive.
Now, next thing I noticed was the 911 caller says to the dispatcher that there is a doctor present. Now, this doctor is actually a licensed cardiologist at the time. Now, this doctor's name is Conrad Murray, who served as Michael Jackson's doctor during his time when he was rehearsing for the This Is It tour, which was supposed to be his final tour, period. Now, back to the second thing that I noticed in the 911 call. Now, the caller says there is a doctor in the room assisting Michael. Now, that doctor happens to be a cardiologist named Conrad Murray. Now, as a cardiologist, you would have had basic CPR knowledge where he would have pulled Michael out of the bed and onto the floor. Now, to do proper CPR, you would have actually had to have a hard surface under the person so the blood and the air can circulate through the person's body.
I know this. I'm sure you all know or have heard about this, or we can all for sure certain say that Conrad Murray knows it as well. His medical credentials discussed earlier on in this video show that his early studies as a general medical physician afforded him the knowledge of the internal organs, which includes the lungs, as well as basic CPR training. Michael had been gone out of the mansion since 12:11 p.m., so whoever was still in Michael's bedroom as his double or doppelganger is still a mystery, and whoever that person was supposed to succumb to the poor, purposefully done medical treatment that Conrad Murray provided. His role was to be the fall guy as the killer of the King of Pop to the public, so that way Michael could make his escape to freedom. LaToya Jackson has publicly spoken, calling Conrad Murray the fall guy in a sense that will make the world believe he is truly gone.
Who gave Doc Murray the orders to kill Michael Jackson? Who gave the orders?
Yes, of course, he's the fall guy, absolutely. He is the fall guy, all right. Yes, and he knows exactly what he was ordered to do, and he followed those orders.
Who gave those orders, LaToya?
Follow the money trail.
What she really meant in that interview was Conrad Murray is a distraction, which was made and needed on June 25, 2009, to make the public death all the more believable by saying someone had killed him. Over the years, through my research,
To find out what really happened that day on June 25, 2009, Jermaine Jackson has always come up. In the last video, we discussed how Jermaine was part of bringing dangers into his brother's life despite all that he knew Michael was going through. He would be Michael's main source as to how Michael made it out of Los Angeles. I'll explain after this video clip.
This interview clip with Jermaine was from September 2011 with ABC News. He admits to the interviewer that in 2005 he would have had a secret plane available to take Michael out of the country to Bahrain before the verdict from Michael's trial could be read.
To continue on, everybody already knows or is aware about the LAX shutdown that allowed Michael to board flight MX 922 of Mexicana Airlines. He would board that flight around 1:35 p.m. and it would head to Guadalajara, Mexico. Also, according to the same source who provided information as to why 12-year-old Prince was called into Michael's bedroom that afternoon of June 25, 2009, she revealed that Flight 922 did indeed take Michael out of Los Angeles to Guadalajara, Mexico, in which he was taken to an undisclosed location on a second flight thereafter by his brother Jermaine. The way this was organized was by Jermaine contacting a businessman that he has heavy ties to, named Gaston Azcárraga Andrade, who received an undisclosed amount of funds to provide the flight out of Los Angeles and also help provide the power that was needed for the shutdown in LAX by having heavy security escort who they believed was Mexican President Felipe Calderon being transported from LA back to Mexico after one of his frequent visits there with President Barack Obama. That was the story that Gaston Azcárraga Andrade had provided to the Aviation Board of LAX previously to June 25th as a part of Michael's escape. Mexicana Airlines business would begin to fail later in 2009, with the company filing for bankruptcy in 2010. Then the doors officially closed on Mexicana Airlines on August 28, 2010, just one day before Michael's would-be 51st birthday.
The airport this morning, checking out their gate, there's nothing going on at their desk, no signs of trouble, but also no passengers either. I've checked their schedule for the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks out, and you can't get any information on any of those flights. They just don't exist right now. And right now, the airline, their flight attendants and pilots had a strike yesterday, a picket, if you will, at the airport in Mexico City. They're upset over negotiations that the airlines had with their employees. They're fearful of job cuts. The president of the pilots union was told by the airline that they may be filing for bankruptcy.
To where Michael headed after his escape from Los Angeles to Guadalajara, no one knows, but we do know that Michael did escape, and he is alive. This is it. Here we stand 10 years later, still trying to put together the pieces as to what really happened with the escape of Michael Jackson on June 25, 2009. Where will his escape plan take us next? Thank you, Moonwalkers, for tuning into this video. More will be coming soon, so continue to like, subscribe, and comment and share, and I'll see you for Xscape Plan Part 4.
What you have just witnessed could be the end of a particularly terrifying nightmare. It isn't. It's the beginning.